signing the declaration of acceptance of office form, so it's continuing address, so thank you. I realise I was absent last month, I was very unwell, so just quickly sign it. There we go, I'll just pop that there, thank you. Okay, and the next item is apologies to receive apologies for absence, given these and to approve reasons absent. One of the people absent is Gemma this evening. She's not very well, so Kyla's very kindly stepped in. So thank you to Kyla for helping us out a little pickle there. Are there any other absences needed to be reported or? No? Okay. The next thing I'll go to is members of the public. If there's anything to that people would like to raise. We've got like approximately 15 minutes, so. Ian?
Thank you. Quite a few months ago now, I came and asked a question around transparency and publishing financial records and things like that. I'd like to commend you all, or just thank you really for publishing that on the website. That was really good, and that's a really good step forward. Whether that's a catch up from previous or whatever else, just that's a good thing in terms of transparency. So, well done for that. That's great. Congratulations, Chair, on your election. So
thank you.
That's another good thing, I guess. I want to just put in there, regardless of any political element. Just worth mentioning, I guess. The only question off the sort of back of the previous bit really was, obviously now all those financial things have gone on the website and things, I've looked through them. Quite keen, I guess, as a local resident on the sort of financial spend and things like that. We're obviously in quite an economic time at the moment where money's tight, everything's getting more expensive. We all probably understand the effects of inflation on everything like that. And I guess just a commitment from the council or councillors really going forward, or the clerk, I'm not sure how that works in terms of who, but just around really considering like the actual cost of things in advance of spend. It's a really small thing to me, but like I looked last time, I think I mentioned it last time around, like £500 for some leaflets that you could get online for £70 or something for 10,000 and things like that. I just think things like that we should be thinking about a little bit more, like all the stuff around paying people and all those sorts of things. You're a committee, the council, you make those decisions. It's just whether we can, or you can, I guess, put more attention onto the financial cost of things and where things are cost effective. If you can take that forward, that'd be great. There was another bit, I can't remember what it was. Oh, whether there's a policy somewhere that kind of says we try and get things locally. I'm not sure, but if there is, then that obviously sort of supersedes that a little bit, but I just think there's a thing around value for money that can possibly look at. So it's probably not a question, but just a thing as a local resident I'd like to sort of look at and take forward.
Thank you, Vicar. Just a quick comment back on it, in terms of cost of things. I think I can speak for all councillors as well, and please speak up if you don't think I'm saying the right thing here. But we do try and get tenders, we do try and get the best value for money. And sometimes, in terms of value for money, it might be more, we get more service for the cost that we're getting. So like sometimes, like with the leaflets, we try to go locally. I think one of the firms we use is in Hemsworth because that's the most local to us. And if there is a problem, we can like nip down the road and sort it out and go get it. So sometimes it might be things like that.
And stuff like that.
So yeah.
Oh, then the other bit as well, just publishing the FOIs. I think you're going above and beyond on that, and that just stops repeat ones, which saves on your time and things as well, that's a good thing. I don't think you're legally or legislatively obliged to do that, but yeah. It might be, I'm not sure, but I think going above and beyond and doing that, I saw that and I'm like, oh, that's great, that stops people doing it over and over, so yeah, sure.
Yeah, thank you for your comments, by the way, so thank you. Any other members of the public? Sean, yeah?
Can I just ask why the lighting of the beacon for the Remembrance of D-Day wasn't advertised by the Parish Council? I've been asked by a lot of people in the village.
So there's a couple of things around that, and again, it ties in with cost effectiveness, it ties in with organisation, it ties in with the insurance that we would have needed, and we had to make an estimate in terms of that. When we've done it in previous years, it's been like a bit more of a, you know, people viewing it like off their own sort of like acts, if you like. Whereas we decided to do a little bit of an event this time, but in terms of doing a widespread, you know, there's so many costs that are affecting the council at the minute. So it was just one of those things, and you know, it's that balance for money. We wanted to market, we wanted people to be able to see it as best they could. But in terms of the insurance that we would have needed for all of the village to go there, and then the manpower and the resources that the parish council had, we couldn't do quite that same event. For instance, I know that we're doing events, say, in Wakefield. Pontefract didn't do one this time. Again, they'll be affected by the costs. We wanted to mark the event in the village, but equally, you know, there were restraints there as well. So it was that balance, and it's sometimes a bit hard to strike, and sometimes it's not always 100% right for everybody, but we do strive to get the balance right. So yeah.
Just one more question. In December 23, the health and safety report for Carbridge playing field, there was a stand-on seesaw. It was loose in the foundations. Has this been repaired as yet? If not, why not? Also, down at Ackworth last month, I mentioned there's a bath plug being put on the gate instead of a proper rubber buffer. Has that been replaced by a proper rubber buffer yet?
I don't know specifically myself on those things. I know there's action plans regarding the playgrounds, the things we're following up. I know that we're wanting to get staff that are trained on that, so we're trying to make those organised, you know, to get more enhanced training so we can do more things in-house to address some of these issues. We're chasing up with the companies that have done the audit and the repairs previously, so there's a lot of things going on with it. But in terms of that specific again, we'll get back to you on that.
There's just one more thing, like in Pontefract, they've just opened a new park and there's been an accident on the slide. They've closed the slide off. If that's loose in the foundations and the gate's not right, shouldn't it be closed while it's repaired?
Again, we've had two audits done on the playground equipment now. The action pack, it isn't the same as that. The slide issue, of which I've seen the video, that was the original slide that was put in was worse than the accident that happened. That was then readjusted after audits and health and safety sort of things, and it was still causing an issue.
Can I just check, we're talking about the Pontefract slide now?
Yes.
Not Ackworth, so it's not our...
Yeah.
Yes. So I do know that's part of the reason why that's been closed, because it's meant to have been readjusted to be safe, and it's still not safe, as many people have seen from the video.
But if we've got a stand-on seesaw in a park and it's loose in the foundation, it's not safe, is it? And also, I reported a swing. I sent a video to this council that when they're swinging on it, it's moving in the foundation.
In terms of the specifics on that, Sean, I've already said I don't have those answers for you. But specifically on that, what I can say is people are looking into it. It's been deemed by people that, you know, do this for a job day in, day out, and I realise people do make mistakes like we've done with the slide in Pontefract, but we've had two different auditors come out now. They've deemed it to be still safe, but they want some repairs doing it. As the report said, we had lots of low-risk issues that need addressing. These parks in our village are 10 years old, so there is going to be some wear and tear. And there was only one or two issues that were deemed medium, but in terms of how they rank the medium, they are low-risk mediums, so they've just gone into that. And there's a full action plan of which we are addressing.
If these things are not getting repaired though, and any children get hurt, will the parish council's insurance still stand?
Yeah, the insurance is there to cover it. That's what the insurance is there for. These things are being repaired. There's an action plan, as I've said.
Like I say, it's December, it's now June, and that hasn't been fixed. And it's obviously loose in foundations.
But we've had the health and safety audit since then, and they, you know, I'm not qualified on seesaw and playground equipment myself per se, but people that have been out to do those audits and check the safety of those things they are qualified in that.
Yeah.
Am I to question the expertise of them? I would have deemed them to be more qualified than me, so I trust that advice.
But just one more question then. Why have we had two health and safety reports done? We had one in December 2023 and we just had another one done.
regarding the second audit, that's because there have been other issues that have had to go to other authorities to investigate. I'm not able to disclose further on that because it's with other authorities and it would prejudice
I'm not being awkward.
and it's not to be made public.
Yeah, I'm not being awkward, but I've got grandkids that uses them parks. But I go to Purston Park and they've just had it redone with skateboard park, and it's spot on. I've got to go to Purston though to get a park that's safe.
The parks are safe.
Well, I won't say it was safe if it's loose in foundations and swings moving about. Has anybody really...
I've already given you an answer to that, Sean. We're just going around in circles a little bit on this. Is there anyone else in the Republic? No? Okay then. I'll bring us back to the agenda. So thank you everybody and thank you for your questions and comments. Declarations of interest and dispensations. Thank you. Thank you. 3.1. To receive any declarations of interest not already declared under the Council's Code of Conduct or a member's register of disclosable pecuniary interests on items on the agenda. To receive and consider and decide upon written applications for dispensation of disclosable pecuniary interest and to grant any requests for dispensation as appropriate. Have we had any? No. No? Stephen, yeah.
Chairman said I just want to mention that I'm a member of the Ackworth Heritage Group.
I think what Gemma had said was if you could put it on your register of interest, then you wouldn't need to mention it each time. It was up to you to choose, yeah.
So I'll just have it when she gets back. I'm on with her about that.
Yeah, I think it's just a form
Just
to fill in.
actually, when Sue said the first time, because I didn't need to do that.
Oh,
We might have put an extra
you might have
box in.
Are there any other disclosable pecuniary interests? No. Okay. Item 4, to receive available reports from the following. West Yorkshire Police. We've got the crime stats in our packs. There's some more stats on the back. Are there any comments on that? Okay, I'll move on. So the 4.2, West Yorkshire District Councillors, as I am one of those now, I'll just give a verbal report for my first meeting for Ackworth Parish Council. In terms of the updates I can give are, in terms of the roads, there's a programme of work that Wakefield District Council are doing to sort out the potholes. I know that some have been done in Upton already. I know that some have been done along Went Lane. These are technically outside of our parish, but I know that any that the potholes in Ackworth are on programme of works to be done, and they have been reported. Some of them were reported before I was elected. So, unfortunately, like our own parish council, I do think it will be the chippings that they'll put across the roads. So I realise that that's not ideal, but if it sorts the potholes out, ideally we'd like the proper fully tarmac where to dig up the road a little bit and it's a more permanent repair. But I think that that's the programme they're doing, but I can look into that if members want me to look into that further. And I know that one of the cases of, because I checked in with Gemma, I've looked into the various grants that Wakefield Council offer and some that come from national government, and I'm trying to find out what parish councils can apply for. So I've got that as an open sort of like action to try and get some more funds for our village as well. And I'm trying to do that for the other parish councils as well in Ward 1. So yeah, that's my little verbal report so far. I'm a little bit in the deep end at the minute, so we're trying to do the best we can to get up to speed. I will just give another update in terms of strata, because there are the roads haven't been adopted yet. That's because we're pushing for the strata housing company to sort out the drainage issues. So that's why they're unadopted at the moment. The two are quite interlinked at the moment, and we're trying to get that big private developer to sort the issues out before they're taken on, because as taxpayers paying council tax, we don't want to be footing that bill as well. So I know that, and that's been led by Jessica, who's been leading on it for a number of years now. Okay, so that's another update. 4.3, Ackworth Parish Council representatives on outside bodies. Are there any?
We had a long community centre meeting last week, the 3rd of June. Nothing to report really, it was just a meeting about feedback from the recent Family Fun Day that we held. The next meeting planned is the 2nd of September, unless we have to call an emergency meeting for anything. And then we had the council coffee morning on the 22nd of May. Unfortunately, nobody came because it was tipping it down with rain, so
Right.
which was a real shame. But
The cakes couldn't prize anyone out.
yes. We've tentatively identified a date for July, the 3rd of July, but again that's up for discussion from everybody, but we felt we needed to just identify a date for that.
Excellent, thank you. Any other? No? Okay.
Not been anything.
Item 5 then, to consider for approval the minutes of the Parish Council meeting held on the 20th of May 2024 as a true and correct record. Are there any comments on that?
Yeah, there was one point on 8.1 to 8.6. It says that resolves that due to the 2 pending vacancies to be determined by by-election on Thursday the 13th of June, they'd be deferred. But it wasn't public knowledge, and it wasn't certainly my knowledge, that there was an election happening that day. It was actually the day after that Wakefield announced the election was actually taking place. So we can't actually have deferred it because there was going to be an election. We deferred it because we had 2 vacancies. So just as a bit pedantic, but
All right.
Wakefield actually only called the election the day after we had our meeting.
I
So
think
we didn't actually know there was an election.
I think the reason why Gemma might put that in the notes is because communication goes backwards and forwards between Clark and Wakefield Council, and before it gets to an election, especially on parish councils, you do get the opportunity whether you call an election or not, which is called by, so it'll be in that notice they would have got. So
I suppose it was just because it wasn't what we discussed. Because
right.
as a parish council, we didn't discuss it because we didn't know about a specific date for the election. So it was just, I don't know if it's an issue, but it was because there were 2 vacancies, really.
Yeah. As Carol's just offered, we'll check the recording and just double check. I think in terms of how it doesn't change the record too much, really.
No, the principle's the same, it's just the reasoning, as it were.
We'll check the recording and we'll make the adjustment as necessary. Is that okay with everyone? Excellent. Can I take a proposal and second of them, please? That they're a true and accurate record. Amanda proposing, Sarah seconding. Can I get votes in favour of them, please? We've got a full house. Okay, so item 6 to receive burial rights. There's none? None to receive them. Item 7, financial matters. 7.1 to receive and consider for approval the accounts, including bank statements, the end of April 2024. These are the accounts. Are there any comments on the accounts? just passing these down as well? These are about to come on. That's Stephen, thank you.
Thank you.
If there's no comments, can I get a proposal and seconder for Thursday for 7.1? Sarah proposing. Seconder, Sharon, seconding. And can we get votes in favour, please? Full house, thank you. Okay, so 7.2, to receive and consider for approval the accounts including bank statements to the end of May 2024. And again, these are in at tax as well. Are there any comments on the accounts to the end of May? No. Can I get a proposal and second of them, please? Lynn, proposing. Andy, seconding. And can I get votes in favour, please? Full house again. Thank you very much. 7.3, to receive and consider for approval payments to be made and petty cash accounts to the 10th of June 2024. And I appreciate these are just being handed out like I would be for this meeting. This is just covering some of the petty cash payments that have been made more recently. So I'll just give everyone a minute.